Good Friday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. Wow, what a nice, cool Friday, overcast, rainy day here in the Northern Virginia, Maryland, DC area, and yet another week has come and gone. What have you accomplished? What have you accomplished this week? What have you done in the world we live? We're living. And here's the dogs, all the puppies. I kept them in. They seem actually to kind of like being out here. The downside of me is I'm on poop duty as usual, and so many people are wanting me to do this and do that, which I don't want to do what you want to tell me to do. So it's, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm like, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to build a damn dog kennel. Never done it in 33 years I've lived here. Come on, pups. Come on. Hello. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Get out. No. Prince is bad. He jumps all over you. He's scratching the hell out of me. Good Lord. Woo. So last night, I took all the dog food up, just thinking, if I have all the dog food down, they're going to eat all night long and poop all night long. So, hey there, buds. So did that make any difference? Not really. Still got some landmines. Hey there, Gypsy and the P. Have to power wash the whole doggone garage. And there's the bird. Got baby birds up here, baby birds back there. So, hey, puppies, what are you going to do, huh? What are you guys going to do? Obviously, you've already gone to the bathroom, which means I have dog duty pickup. Come here, pups. Come on, the wife is taking the Grand Wagoneer to work because Grand Cherokee costs too much money to replace the damn tires. Yeah, too much damn money, everybody. Just too many bills. Too many obligations. That's the challenge. A beautiful evening. Fix the wife. Nice little dinner. I'm just burned out of making dinner. I am just so burned out of making dinner. I mean, it's an hour or 2 hour project. Some of you are like, no, it isn't. Yeah, it is. Time you make everything, you eat, you clean up. And I just don't need it. I don't need to eat more food. I need to eat less. In all reality, I don't need to get bigger. I need to get smaller. Here's a dog chasing all the birds. But a beautiful Friday morning where it's a nice breeze. And it's actually a little cool. But it's just really nice out, really. It's kind of nice. We really do need the rain up here in all reality. We need a lot of rain. And to catch up for all the years of not having enough rain. It's just incredible how this area just seems to be a different ball game. So many years ago, I talked about how I can still remember growing up in the Jersey area, this area back in the 70s, 80s, and this Northeast, Mid-Atlantic area was notorious for just the summers to be just overcast and rain and humid and rain and overcast, and it was just dreary. It was depressing, and we just don't get that like we used to. We don't usually have like weeks and weeks of just overcast and rain, but maybe I'm delusional, I forget. Now there's Diesel. He's definitely getting back into the action of playing with the dogs. So that's quite impressive. And as they all sit here and play with one another. As I make my way over to the house, gotta go over to the house, get a few things. And we keep the morning conversations going. Got my jeans on again and my boots because it's wet. And I left the window open to the greenhouse so that hopefully a little bit of rain got in there, but I doubt it. Hey, dogs. But yeah, here in the Grand Cherokee, this is a very high-end car, all-wheel drive car, and what people don't realize is you have to put a specific tire design in this car. You just can't put any tire on this car. It'll affect the way the car handles. So there's a lot more to people just thinking you can go out and buy a tire and save yourself money. You're not. That's a big ass tire. I mean, so that ain't no $200 tire. And you can just see how with this all-wheel drive system, this car, this has an air ride suspension as well, where it adjusts itself as you go down the road. So you can just see on how this tire up front has worn differently than other tires. It's because of this all-wheel drive system that kind of pulls a little here or there, and then it's of course always getting the car aligned. But I've stayed on top of this car, getting the rotation and everything else. So you're just not really gonna beat this all-season tire. And I mean, once again, you're not gonna buy a $300 tire for this car that's gonna be any good. You're really at Costco. The books only show one tire for this car. Now I haven't gone to Discount Tire. I haven't gone to other tire dealers yet to see what my options are, but I you know, it ain't gonna be no $500 difference. Would I maybe get a set of tires for $1,700-$1,800 versus maybe $2,000? And it's possible, but it ain't gonna be no $500,000 difference. It's these high-end cars. They're expensive. All right, be right back, everybody. All right, let's get back out here to the Troublemaker Dogs. Such a bummer. They destroyed my beautiful piece of furniture. Isn't that just such a bummer, man? It's just so sad. It's a beautiful piece of furniture I bought. And it doesn't end. Get on back. Back. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Nope. Yeah. Nope. There you back. Come on. Now we're at Gypsy. Everybody else run off to. Come on. Gypsy. Prince. Don't want them up on the front fence line here. For those out there watching my channel, you can't, to put a fence up in front of my property, that would be a major undertaking. I've talked about this so many times. It's not going to work. I mean, sure, if you want to pay somebody to do it, but for me to be able to do it, it's impossible, because there's a pond and there's a major clean out area. Come on, Gypsy, come on, quit eating the mushroom. Come on. It's just, you know, you can do parts of it, but whatever, you know. Sometimes you can't control fate, everybody. Come on, pups. That's just the way life is. We have not even 1% of the water in the world. Yeah, think this through. For all the paranoid people in the world we live around, what if I told you that only not even 1% of all the water in the world is drinkable for mankind to survive? Wouldn't you be a little worried right now? Shouldn't you be worried about that? Think about that. Not even 1% of the water in the world is drinkable. How does mankind survive? Off of water. If you take away the fresh water in mankind, we're all dead. Yeah, what if all the fresh water on Mother Nature Earth got contaminated? We'd all be dead, everybody. But whatever. Come on, pups. So yeah, just like the Ford Lightning truck, those electric vehicles take a specific tire because it's so heavy. You know, these are very heavy vehicles. As we get in here and get the dogs some food put down, I haven't cleaned up the crap yet, which I don't feel like. I don't feel like it. I'm sick of picking up dog crap. Just sick of it. Oh my god. Yeah, what we'll do here, only danger here is see dogs will walk through this shit, and then they carry it through my freaking garage. Alright. Let's get some food down for you. Try to get the bowls made up. So see, these guys are hungry this morning. And I've gone back to the Costco brand, Kirkland, to just kind of change it up a little bit. And I don't go to Sam's. This isn't convenient for me. Sam's is really a project for me because I got to drive way down to Sam's. So Kirkland, Costco is where I go because of the views of going there and not having to drive an extra 20 minutes to get that. All right, I'm on pickup duty now. All right, that project, Rebel, get away from me. Rebel, stop it. That project's done. Probably the smartest thing I could really ever do, really. I should set up 4 crates and just crate these 4 German Shepherds out here. And I mean, that would pretty much put the end to the crap and piss everywhere. I might just do that. That's a project, just getting all the crates out and everything else. But sincerely, that's probably the way to do it. Just crate them. No, Willow, stop it. Chill out. On the never-ending adventures of, hey, the morning conversation. So what I was thinking to myself today was, what are the accomplishments? What did Joe Biden accomplish during his tenure? What is Donald Trump accomplishing during his tenure? But before we get into that, I was talking to Sam there at the dealership, and he's a great guy. It's the general manager of that Dulles, Leesburg, Dodge, Subaru, Kia organization. I'm going to go up here. I don't think I'll walk around for half an hour, to be honest with you. Go up to the office like I used to do and just chill out, sit down. It's raining Friday day. And get my tripod set up that I used to do with all you guys so many years ago, where I used to literally just, come up here on a regular basis and have lengthy conversations. Lengthy conversations. Can I get this thing to work without it turning off? I don't know. There's that. Doesn't seem right. Is it? Then you gotta tilt it back. The good old days, right? So I don't know if my light helps or not. Does that help a little bit? Should I tone it down a little bit? For that there. Yeah, so anyways, I was talking to Sam yesterday at the dealership. It's funny how this thing's a little crooked. Sorry about that, everybody. But trying to make things work. I'm running on a shoestring. Just talking to Sam at great length. Listen to his whole story. How he got in the automotive industry and where he worked. And how he owned his own used car lot. Hey, stop it. So it was a great conversation, but it's interesting. It's, hey, come on. It's just like Rebel and Diesel. Rebel likes to lick all the poodles' mouths because they all reek. They're all like dead carcasses. Stop it, Rebel. Yeah, I'm a slave to my own freaking world, everybody. Slave on debt, slave on animals. I mean, I'm 62 years old. Yeah, most people my age are looking at retiring, got their nest egg, making life more simple. What do? Yeah, I go out and just get myself into even more trouble. So anyways, the point here is the conversation is that, oh, that's so crazy. So my keyboard, it's gone dead. Oh well, it's always something, everybody. So what Sam was talking about though was the used cars, on how challenging it is to buy used cars anymore. You can't; they're too expensive. He said the only way that they're really in business is because they're selling new cars. The running joke about the car industry is you sell new cars to get used cars because the used cars have the profit margins. But for used car dealers, they're very challenged because they have no option to go to the auction, and the cars are extremely expensive. The used cars are still at healthy values. I mean, for me being the guy that's seen his cars go away, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing that on what they paid for my Kirby truck, the $100,000 Kirby truck that I think somebody got it for, I think for like $78. So it's like, yeah, okay, really? It's like, well, what I'm experiencing, I don't know. I mean, so it's very interesting to hear that conversation. But, nothing's really going on by leaps and bounds, as I've talked about so many times in the infrastructure of these dealerships. I don't know. I'd love to hear some car sales guy tell me that life is good and the world is on fire. Everybody's freaking out. So back to accomplishments. What did Joe Biden accomplish? It's so incredible how the government can take all your tax money And at the end of the day, it's like, oh, well, we didn't really accomplish anything. Your tax money, big deal. Yet, if you gave me money, if you were to give me money and I didn't use it properly, then you would be, or I didn't pay you back, you would be very upset at me. If I said to you, hey, can I borrow $1,000? And then I took the $1,000 and I went and went on a little road trip on it and had fun with the family, and I never paid you $1,000 back. You'd be pissed as hell. I'd be the biggest piece of trash in the world. But yet, the whole political system, there's Rebel, same old story all day long. This is what I deal with all day long. The political system, the government, they take your money and spend it foolishly, and what does anybody do? It's unbelievable. And the politicians know this. They all know they can make promises to break. Everybody knows promises are made to be broken. So here's the thing. Here's the question. Brett will be, we were just complaining. Well, I think I have the right to complain, Brett, because do you feel good about your taxpayers' dollars being spent foolishly? I mean, sincerely, you feel good about that? I know you don't. But does anybody complain about it? Elon Musk is about the only guy that's complaining about it. And this guy's been tarnished. I mean, it's beyond believable that Elon Musk goes out and he exposes how bad the federal government is, how corrupt our government is, how corrupt our politicians are. And the politicians behind the scenes finagle things to tarnish the guy and ruin him and borderline hang him. That's why nobody will do anything. That's why everybody's too scared to do anything, because you'll be tarnished by the regime in power that gets all the money from us. So under Joe Biden, I think about the Ukraine-Russia war. What did he accomplish? Besides what probably most people think, that he enriched himself and family and Zelensky to the hilt off of stolen government money. I have no idea. Is that factual? They talk about it. Is it provable? Probably not. But has Ukraine accomplished anything besides seeing its own city and civilization, their society be destroyed, killed, undermined? Has Russia accomplished anything? I mean, right now, it sounds like Russia's going to get what they want. And they just need to, lay down their arms. And for the most part, Zelensky's have to, suck it up buttercup and just deal with it that you didn't win the war and Putin, for the most part, did. I don't know. But the point is, what did Joe Biden and you and I, by giving Ukraine money now for going on, 3 years, going on 4 years, what was accomplished? I mean, can anybody reach out and tell me what we accomplished besides all the defense contractors in this area tied to these wars, made bloody fortunes, and have yet another yacht, and have yet another beach house, have yet another diamond ring and Rolls Royce sitting in their driveway? That's where it all goes. Under Joe Biden, we had the Inflation Reduction Act, which was an $858 billion subsidy from the government to build out electric vehicle infrastructure, solar panel infrastructure, the Chips and Science Act, which was like a $58 billion subsidy to bring all the manufacturing of chips here. Has anybody seen a gazillion battery manufacturing facilities pop up in our country? Has anybody seen a gazillion brand new factories being built for electric cars? Did everybody and their brother jump on the bandwagon and go buy an electric car? Did the whole charging station network be built out? And what people say, well, Donald Trump stopped all that. Well, it's obvious that Joe Biden wasn't having enough accomplishments to suffice his continuing powers to be handed down to Kamala Harris to continue the program of the DEI and the transgender and then the illegals running amok like never seen before in modern times, and the government subsidies through the sanctuary cities of illegals getting to live a better lifestyle than most hardworking, paying citizens in this country have that have gone broke or become homeless, or the list goes on and on and on. So what was accomplished under Joe Biden? That was our monies that gave him the right to use our monies. I said it the other day that Sean Duffy, the Department of Transportation Secretary, he swears up and down that Joe Biden and Pete Boy got a $1.3 trillion, and only 1% of those monies actually went to anything to do for the monies allocated. I mean, how does that work? I mean, just how does it work? So what was accomplished under Pete? What did Pete accomplish? I mean, you can go through the list of all the people that Joe Biden surrounded himself around. What did they accomplish? Once again, I'd love to hear the opposing views, comments of all the great things that Joe Biden put in place that he accomplished. To the point that the people spoke in this country and said, we're sick of it. You haven't accomplished, what you've accomplished is weird agendas to enrich yourself and to create weird things in our society that we're just not supporting anymore. Where the criminals had justice for the criminals was the basic theme under Joe Biden's tenure. It was justice for the criminals, justice for the illegals. The list goes on and on and on. I mean, here's even Gavin Newsom now that sees a paint on the wall that the party that he is a part of has gotten so radical and the people in the country don't like it that even he's starting to raise his hand and be critical of his own party. There's many people that are starting to raise their hand that have powers to be in the Democratic Party are like, we're not doing this the right way. The American people don't like all this social justice, DEI, the BLM, the transgender. They don't like how anybody can come to our country and show up and do whatever the hell they want to do, and they're protected more than a freaking citizen of our country is. They don't like it. And it doesn't win you elections anymore. So your theory of bringing all the illegals in to manhandle the country and win elections, thank God, everybody, thank God. So now we go fast forward to Donald Trump. What has Donald Trump accomplished besides pissing off a lot of people? But as time progresses, we won't really know. There's no way that I could hear say what Donald Trump does is for the better or the worse. We still don't know. Everybody's still kind of wondering what is the real end result of Donald Trump's tariffs, of how he really stays committed to punishing other countries that don't play by the rules correctly, and what in the end has he accomplished for us citizens of our country. Does it really bring the American jobs back to our country? But for me, I think what it accomplishes that you're going to pay more money for everything we own. I mean, I don't. You read article after article of people that have done business in this country that have been forced to go overseas to have things built because they're no longer affordable products that they can sell and compete that people are going to want to buy. You're going to buy a $100 funky little water pistol, or you're going to spend $500 for a little BB gun? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just speaking off the tip of my tongue. And sure, I know it's going to create opportunity for a lot of people here in our country. But at the same time, it's going to be more money of it all in our pockets. So what's been accomplished through Donald Trump and his tenure is this going to be the most expensive economy ever in our ever because of the infrastructure that he wants to bring all the American jobs back to our country. But yet the government is so strict on the guidelines of running businesses. I was talking to Sam yesterday. He said, when you're a used car lot, it's the worst. The Department of Motor Vehicles. The Department of Motor Vehicles shows up regularly to your used car lot. Because all it takes, I have no idea what the dogs are barking at. They're barking at the wind. But the DMV, he claims that when you're a used car dealer, all it takes is one person to buy a used car from you, file a complaint with the Department of Motor Vehicles, and the sheriff, literally the guy shows up with the badge and gun, where you have to go through very detailed records of the transaction of this car that you've sold, that you have bought at auction, you may have bought it from somebody. So it's very deep and heavy, because if a person buys a car and the transmission falls out of it the next day, they feel like they got screwed over. So the Department of Motor Vehicles shows up on a regular basis. He said it was the biggest headache in his life. That it's, you're buying a used car and you're just hoping that the used car you bought, that you sold to somebody else, stays together. And if it doesn't stay together, then the people get very aggressive and mad at you and they attack you for the car they bought used, thinking it should be like a brand new car, and now you deal with the state of Virginia that's going to take your dealer license if you don't resolve the problem in what they feel is the proper way to resolve it. Wow. So he, after a while, was just like, it was good money, but what killed it was he had a partner that had all the money in the real estate market. So back in 2008 and 9, he had 3 floor plans for his used car dealership. Floor plan is when you use the bank's money to hold your inventory on the things you want to sell. And they're very strict. These floor plan companies have to constantly come by and take inventory of what you have. Once you've sold something, you pay them for it. And they have to be very careful because a really shady guy could sell 10 used cars off his lot and never show that he actually sold them to the floor plan people. And then he could just hightail it to the next country and possibly pocket $500,000 or more money in his pocket with never paying the debts owed on the cars that the banks are holding. So he said that his partner that approached him to help him run a used car dealership, because he worked for the Coons organization as a sales guy and a general sales manager. And so this guy back in like 2006, I think it was like 2005, like 2006, I think, or 7, he got into business with this real estate guy that was flipping houses. And sure enough, by 2008, he got caught with his pants down. He had so many houses that he no longer could flip and get out of that they all started getting foreclosed on. And the word got out that this guy didn't have the monies he had anymore. And the floor plan people literally showed up at his lot and took all his cars away, just like that. And so he's like, oh, well, that's it. We're done. But it was a whole fiasco back in 2008 and 9. Anyways, as everybody knows. So now, for Donald Trump, we know what he's accomplished. Supposedly, he's much more aggressive on illegal immigration. So we see that accomplishment. Versus Joe Biden's accomplishment was he let the whole world know you can come live in the USA, whether you're legal or not. And even if you're not legal, you'll probably be gifted to live in our country by living off the taxpayers' monies. So then Donald Trump rolled back the military, allowing an IT to become a military uniformed IT, versus under the Joe Biden administration, we had ITs actually in power of high-ranking officials were ITs. And so for Joe Biden, he accomplished that you can be whatever you want, and whatever you want to be doesn't hinder your capabilities of rising to great ranks to be the big guy. So Donald Trump kicked that to the curb. So for Biden, he accomplished what the it's like, and then for Donald Trump, he accomplished what I think most people try to separate what makes sense and doesn't. So I think that's an accomplishment. Donald Trump hasn't totally rolled back the electric vehicle tax rebates. So for Joe Biden, what he accomplished, he gave a guy like the Iceman more incentives to buy an electric vehicle because of the big EV tax reduction, even though the cars are so expensive as it is. Even with the EV rebate tax credit, you're still paying a lot of money for an electric vehicle. And at the end of the day, the electric vehicles are one of the worst on resale value over ICE vehicles. That's a fact. Whoever buys an electric vehicle, you're going to be in worse financial position of that car's value than an ICE vehicle. ICE vehicle still outdoes it and retaining its value better. So what did Joe Biden accomplish? He probably accomplished a lot of people like me buying a vehicle that has little to no value and not a lot of desire in the marketplace for people to really even be buying them per se. What did Joe Biden accomplish under his tenure? The union. The union was able to, Sean Fay, the president of UAW, was able to finagle panic in the world. Isn't it interesting that the rhetoric of all these workers going idle on strike created panic between General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis to the point that he negotiated very lucrative incomes for all these union workers. But yet here's Donald Trump wanting to put huge tariffs on all these, vehicles. And has that created panic in the unions? I mean, I think most unions here stateside think it's going to be a windfall. It's going to be a blessing because more people are going to buy American-built cars and products. But are they going to be, at the end of the day, even a 25% discount or 25% tariff on a lot of these imported cars, and then the Americans building their own cars, is there really be that much of a spread of a price? I don't know. I don't know. I just think that in some ways, will you still be able to buy, a Toyota or a Kia or a Hyundai cheaper than, what are you going to buy, though, when it comes to the car side? What are you buying on the American side that's an American-built car anymore? It's all the trucks and SUVs and the crossovers. So that's where it just kind of, what American car besides Cadillac is being built? Well, the Dodge Charger, I guess. You can say that. I'm sure someone else will figure it out. But how many four-door sedans besides the Mustang, two-door sedan, versus you look at BMW, when you think about BMW, what pops in your head? An SUV or their cars? When you think about Toyota, there's a good mixture there, but they have cars. You think about, well, for the most part, Hyundai and Kia definitely have transitioned more into SUVs. So, I don't know. It kind of be Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Volkswagen. I mean, these are all more of the car-driven Genesis, Infiniti. These are all the more cars today. And so, is that still big a market? So that's where, what has Donald Trump accomplished at the end of the day in our country in his tenure? And does it create such aggravation that when election comes again, does the Trump legacy continue on? But it's way too early in the game. I think anybody here can honestly say, do we really know yet? When do we really start to see the true colors of what's playing out in front of us, of these tariffs, and what's an impact? But once again, does anybody really see anything per se getting less expensive? We can all say the gas. Donald Trump doesn't control the market on oil and gas, everybody. Joe Biden tried to control it. He let go of all of our reserve oil energy to simmer down the oil market because the Middle East guys and all the Wall Street traders were trying to finagle, pull the curtain over your eyes on controlling the prices of the world market in oil, and they couldn't sustain it. So even before Donald Trump got elected, we were in the $60 barrel range of oil. We've hit I think below 60. I don't know what it is now. Oh, right now, it's at $60. But that's still going to be $2.50 to $3 gasoline, depending on where you live, the zone pricing. And for now, in today's world, really, you really think you're going to have dollar gas again? I mean, really? If the economics and inflation, do you really think that we're going to really have $2 gas again? That means all these oil companies are going broke. $40 barrel oil in today's world market. These oil companies don't have. They're going to be saying there's not a lot of incentive right now to continue to support the infrastructure and update it and look for more oil with $40 barrel oil. There's just no money in it anymore. They need $80 barrel oil to be happy. So under Trump, will the oil industry be more of the thing we lost our ass under this guy like we did last time? Because the oil industry did lose their ass. So for energy, yeah, but the energy prices were coming down way before Donald Trump, way before Joe Biden was being shoved out of office. Natural gas, you just go through all the food prices. Has anybody seen your food prices go down? The whole focal point was eggs. That was all the bird flu related issues that has been going on for years. For years. It just didn't happen overnight. So are you going to the store or McDonald's or the restaurant and paying less? I don't see it. I think under Donald Trump's tenure, everything's going to be more expensive. That's what I think is going to happen. And it isn't to complain. It isn't to be criticism. I think under the Joe Biden tenure, if Kamala Harris would have kept things going, I don't know that there was no focal point on that. That focal point was totally about continuing to support the illegal immigrants, the transgender, the DEI, the social justice, the racism. I mean, in my view, if Kamala Harris would have been elected, there would be no conversation about what's going on with this trade, tit for tat trade, and she'd still be on the page of the Inflation Reduction Act of all the government monies being handed out to like the NGOs and Elon Musk. He wouldn't be part of that administration. They wouldn't allow him in the door. They would not support that whatsoever. So the irony is, if Kamala Harris would have been elected, we'd all still be in the dark of how bad the government is on using our money and what have they accomplished. So what have they accomplished? What do you feel? I'd love to hear the comments on my channel of what has been accomplished from 2020 to 2025. What do you feel like has been accomplished? I mean, to me, I just step back and think, I think what's accomplished is that everything got more expensive and big business made record profits like never seen. Car dealerships made record profits like never seen. RV, boat dealerships saw, I mean, the 5-year run, I just think that it's been incredible profits for all the big guys. Have the little guys, have you as you an individual, have you seen a windfall of more money been put in your pocket? If you played the stock market and you did it right, you did. So in that aspect, what was accomplished? Well, the right investments for those people that knew how to trade, you had incredible accomplishments. So that's a for sure. Gosh, in hindsight, oh my gosh, why I didn't pick some stocks and throw some money in those damn things? Oh my gosh, it'd be a whole different story for me. So now, well, what from this point on? What's accomplished from this point on? What are the markets going to do? Are we going to see a 50, 60,000 market in the next 4 to 5 years? I mean, the only way I can see making money in the market now, you have to be very creative on how you invest your money and how you sell it, short it. I'm not the guy that knows all that stuff. Probably should. That's it, everybody. Just trying to keep the channel going. Very challenging. And as I've said many times, but I think people like to hear my voice, see my face, see the antics. That's it. I'm going to shut the hell up. I'm going to go to work. I do work. I know you don't think I think I don't work, but I do have to go to work. So that's it. Have a great day. Stay tuned for more adventures on Ice Age TV. God bless.